Hi, my name is Eunice Lopez, and today I will be talking about Cuban American culture, microculture in the U.S. Cuban American families tend to be high collectivistic, with many first generation immigrants keeping their group oriented values, according to Bryce. Now, living in Cuba is very different than living in the U.S., so old customs like those of having godparents are slowly becoming less important, according to Buffington. The largest concentration of Cuban Americans can be found in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach area, where a report from O'Connor in 2013 states that there are currently a little over a million Cuban Americans residing there. Now, Cubans tend to have a direct communication style. They can be very emotional and loud communicators, as visible expressions are highly common. They get to the point fairly quick, according to Shell 2016. Now, values amongst Cuban Americans are financial security, prosperity, and education. Cuban Americans tend to be better off financially than other Hispanics in America, and they also tend to be nearly as well off as Americans. Religion for Cuban Americans. Data shows that they are overwhelmingly identified as Catholics, where 80% of those born in Cuba and 64% of those born in the U.S. are a Catholic religion, according to Buffington. For their time orientation, polychronic views are predominant in highly collectivistic cultures. Their focus is on the people and completing transactions rather than sticking to time schedules. Now, these polychronic Cuban microcultures tend to be more past and present oriented than future oriented, according to Bryce. Gender roles are slowly changing from the traditional patriarchy, strong parental control over the children's lives. The role of Cuban American women have actually become one of authority now, and this is attributable to their contribution to the household finances and overall security of the family. Children have also experienced less parental control and have greater freedom, according to Buffington. Challenges that they have faced despite the success of early Cuban immigrants, many recent migrants to the U.S. have not enjoyed a warm reception in their adopted country as predecessors. They're particularly viewed as having less professional or business experience and are less educated. While many Cuban Americans are hard workers and very well educated, many are labeled as social deviants, according to Buffington. Now, food. Cuban Americans, they have access to both traditional Cuban and U.S. cuisines. Most tend to leave the traditional Cuban food for special family occasions. I'd like to do big dishes and big buffets. For celebrations, they also go all out. They love to dance and they will celebrate it all. There even exist things like the Cuban American Music Festival, and it highlights traditional Cuban culture with food, art, music, and dance. As far as music, Cubans began immigrating to New York, but they stayed on extended tours, and that's where salsa was born. It was in New York City as Cuban and Puerto Rican dance music fused together. And then there was also Latin jazz, considered Afro-Cuban jazz, which arose from the interaction of Cuban and New York musicians who played and recorded together throughout the 1940s, according to Thorman. For the arts, many Cuban American artists depict art that is still heavily connected to their homeland and the more secret religion of Santeria. One such artist is Christine Braish, who creates work inspired from her neighbor Santeria shrines, which are a unique facet of Miami's cultural landscape, according to Cuban Art News. Thank you for listening.